Welcome to Fuzzy Dragons, and welcome to day 2 of Vlogmas / drawcember, whatever the hell you want to call it. In this one, I am drawing a bunch of cardinals surrounding a Christmas wreath, or a holly leaf, or Christmas, I don't know, it's a leaf, not a leaf, a wreath, not a leaf. Leaves on a wreath, ugh, there's a tongue twister. But I'm doing it traditional, I'm using those Higgins inks. Now, I wanted to ink this, but this is a printout, so it's cheating? Not really, it's saving time, and I wanted to use the inks, it's like I was painting with them. And I actually really like them. I think I need to use different paper though, more like a watercolor paper. This one actually, like the Bristol board, what is it, Bristol Smooth from Koh-i-Noor, worked well. It was just slight buckling, but it did work pretty well. But I think I'll get some thicker watercolor paper from there and do it again with the inks, which I do plan on doing. But this took a long time. Well, not really. Well, it did for the fact that I have to do these almost every day. I can't do one of these every day. It's not going to happen. So some of these are going to be digital, some are going to be traditional. It's going to be hit or miss, which is going to be which. It's whenever I feel like I can complete in a day, whether I can do it traditionally or digitally. This one I did traditionally. It took it more than a day though, so that's why this is up late. Because I needed to edited it, and then scan this, and then edit the image to make it look more like the actual, painting and stuff like that. But I'm using these brushes I got with the set from Higgins a couple weeks ago. Video's up on the thing. I'll probably forget to link it up in the box, like the info thing below. But if I remember, it'll be up there. The Grumbacher. I'm not German. I think they're German, but I can't speak German. I have a horrible German accent. I have a horrible Spanish accent, and I took that for a year. Took French for 9 years. Horrible French accent, but so it's. I'd be lost if I was in France, but same thing if I was in Quebec. I'd be like, what? But I can read it better than I can speak it. But anyway, this is not about French or language. This is about the Christmas wreath. Now we do have a wreath. It is sitting on top of a bunch of boxes in the hall at the moment. It's been there for about a year. It was actually up on the door, on the front door, in the back of the front door, and it lights up if you turn it on. Now, we're the type of, at least me, I'm the type of person that put Christmas decorations up besides a tree, and I just pretty much leave them there all year. And so this wreath, well, not this, it's like the wreath we have on the door, or had on the door. It's been up on the door probably about 4 years straight before we took it down, and then now it's on top of a box, or a bag. I think it's in a bag actually, in the hall. I can't remember where it is, but it's in the hall now, so next to the door. But then on the door now is a dream catcher I've had since I was 20s, probably, I don't know exactly. So that's up on the door now. So we'll have to take that off and put the Christmas wreath back up on the door. Because we're not sure if we're going to have a Christmas tree up, because we don't know where we're going to put it. But anyway, I saved you the trouble of watching me paint all those green leaves, which is what took the longest time. I wasn't going to paint them, and this would be a long, bloody video if I had to watch the leaves, and nobody would watch that. That's boring as hell. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me paint green leaves. But yeah, so this is the green leaves. Leaves, like I need to say leaves, not leaves. And I'm adding red, what would it be? Not cherries, holly berries. That's what they would be, I guess. Make them kind of red. Now I didn't get a red in the inks, but because I've got blue and I've got orange, like a violet red. It's not completely red. I've got that and an orange. The orange and the violet red make actually a really nice red, kind of red, and then add a bit of blue, and it makes it kind of, more of a cool shade. So I've got I've got enough colors I can make pretty much any color. I'm thinking about getting some more green inks, because I had to make all these greens up with the blues and the yellows I had, and a bit of orange, mostly blues and yellows. And so I'm thinking about getting some more inks, whether it's Higgins inks, or probably Higgins, because, they work pretty well, and I've got a bunch and stuff. I actually have a drawer full of ink that I had for years. I probably should go through that. There's no Higgins ink in it. There's all like Winsor & Newton, and I don't even know what's in there. To tell you the truth, there's all kinds of stuff. I used to use ink a lot, and that's not actually my original ink. The ones in the drawer I got them years ago from this person who's giving me all the art supplies. But yeah, so like I said, I can make it like a red, and then I added a bit of blue to make the wings and like give the birds a bit of shading. Now, I didn't videotape what you don't see of the birds. This isn't videoed. My computer decided to say nope, we're not filming that, and it ran out of space. So I had to switch and put another hard drive on my computer that thankfully we had. So I just need to go through it and empty it a bit more. But yeah, so thankfully we had a hard drive I could use the space up. because I needed it to film these things. So if I'm going to film the rest of the month, I'm going to need the space. But yeah, like I said, filming the rest of the month, not always going to be traditional because it takes too long, and then plus editing, and then voiceovers, and blah, 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 blah. It just gets to be a lot of work, and I do need to sleep, you know? But, and now I'm trying to I got ink everywhere. It's like on my hands and on the paper. I do clean that up in, like, Affinity Photo. Thankfully, you can do stuff like that. Like all the marks and stuff that shouldn't be on the paper from me smudging in my hands. Because I'm working wrong, working right to left rather than left to right, which I should be working left to right because I'm right-handed. That would make more sense, but I don't do that for some stupid reason. Now, see, this paper does cause a bit of bleeding. I think it is the paper because it's following the fibers of the paper, but it's not too bad. It's only when I put like a lot of water on it, and it's not meant for water anyway, so I can't really blame the paper. Actually, I can't blame the paper at all about that. It's just the way I'm using it, and it's not meant to be used this way usually, this wet. But it did survive. It didn't actually buckle a lot in that area. I was actually shocked that it didn't buckle, but it did work pretty well. And now the other bird, which is a slightly different shade of red because like I said, I'm mixing these reds by hand. I don't have a red color that I can change the color of. But no, the brushes worked really nice. I just ended up using the small. You probably heard the brushes there. Small number 4 because this isn't actually that big. It's like on an A4 piece of paper, well, 9 by 12 inch piece of paper. So it's not big. I think actually it would have been better if it had been bigger. It wouldn't have taken so long because there wouldn't be so many bloody details to fill in. I wouldn't have had to be so precise. I could be a little more loose. But this actually, me doing this has made me really want to draw some realistic looking birds. Like, and which is, I draw a lot of birds, I'm well aware, but I just want to draw more. I mean, I like birds. I'd have a bird, but I'm not sure. I'm not gonna get a bird and then something that's gonna live 100 years. That's not fair to the bird. But don't have the space, don't have the money, and the dog would go insane, literally. She's not a fan of the birds, partly because they attacked her when she was younger. But anyway, back to the Christmas wreath. Yes, I'm rambling again. This is me. We all know by now that's what I do. But this one, it wasn't as dark as I really wanted it to be. And I kept trying to add the blue to it, but it didn't work. But it kind of worked there. It's a little darker there. But, so, I'm adding some highlights with, of course, white right in front of me. I am using, for the white little highlights, because I thought it might need it, I'm using a Uniball Signo broad one, white, which I really like. I've got a whole bunch of them, because couldn't find them, so we went on, like, Amazon, or was it eBay, I can't remember, and bought, like, a whole bunch for cheap, so they work, And hubby's back with the dog, so you probably hear her bark and him, want me to get the dog. But I need to finish this. I have 4 minutes left, and then it's done, and then I can edit it and put it up online. But yeah, so I added some highlights to the leaves, because I thought they might need it. They didn't really need it, but I decided what the hell, I'll put them on there anyway. And I didn't put them on all the leaves, because I thought that would be way too much, and maybe a bit too busy. Definitely would have been too busy. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But yeah, so I kind of like the way this looks. I wasn't 100% sure about it at first, but I'm not mad. No, how can you be mad at art? Well, I guess you can be mad at some art if you look at some painting and it pisses you off. But I'm not upset. No, that's not the right word. Not, I don't know. I like the way it turned out kind of in the end. It's won me over with how kind of, sort of, child's, like kid's book kind of illustration looking kind of it is, which is alright. I don't mind that look. Maybe I could have been a child in a different life. Now I'm just kind of like a failed graphic designer / literature major who has done nothing with it, but partly because anyway. But yeah, so the highlights, this is kind of tedious. Could have edited it out too, but hey, whatever. Like I said before, many times, I'm a lazy editor, always will be. But so I decided I did need to add a bit of outline to the birds in some of the leaves. You'll see that maybe later, I'm not sure. You'll see it in the finished piece at least. So I outlined the cardinals, and you can't see there, Jen, move your hand. That's really awkward, I need to change that. But you can see the paint on my, or ink on my hand. And you see how, veiny I am too. That's just because I have really pale skin. And I bruise like a peach. And then I add, of course, the blacks that cardinals have on their face and around their eyes kind of thing. Because I thought, it looks really odd without that, just like this white face. Even though you probably do get some kind of morphs or whatever, naturally, some genetic kind of not mix up, but kind of like, you know how you get zebras that are like half striped and brown and stuff, kind of like quaggas or I don't know how you say them. They're dead anyway. They're extinct. Doesn't matter. Stop rambling, Jen. So yeah, but they probably do get different colored cardinals. I know the females are different colored. They're more like grays and stuff like that. With a bit of red, but the male's definitely red. But yeah, so just adding a bit of like highlights to it, and I do fill in a bit of the bird itself with the black, going over the lines really that I had drawn originally. And then add, of course, the black to the eyes, because they have very black eyes. And I thought about going over the leaves, changed my mind. But I instead, you can't see here because my hand's in the frickin' way. Gotta stop doing that. That's really bad there, Jen. It's worse than my head in the way. So I add a bit more black to the darker areas that I had of the bird because it just wasn't dark enough. I needed that contrast. So, and I think it actually worked really well in the end, me adding that more black to it, because it just wasn't enough black. But yeah, so like I said, I didn't bore you with watching me ink all the other birds, because it was just the same thing over and over again. And then I outlined the wreath in the outside of it and the inner side of it with the 0.5, what's this, 0.5, that's a brush thing. No, Copic Monthly Liner SP 0.5. I was going to use my dip pen, but I don't have any nibs that are the right size. I have to order some, which is why I didn't ink this with my dip pen, because I don't have any. I need to order some. But yeah, so I just use my Copic multi-liner, which is great. I need to get some more ink for it though. But anyway, because you can replace the ink in that. But this is it done. It's very Christmassy. I actually really like it. I like how the birds look. I'm actually liking most about it. You know, it's not exactly realistic. It's not, you know, cartoony, which I really need to get away from doing the cartoony crap. But yeah, so this is my Christmas wreath, my happy holiday Christmas wreath and stuff like that. So yeah, so thanks for listening to me ramble, as usual. Yeah, so what am I supposed to say? Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Don't have to, would be nice. Thumbs up, can't you leave a thumbs down because YouTube got rid of it. And I will hopefully be back tomorrow with day 3, which is, I don't know. I will actually, it'll be a surprise for both of us. Bye!